Have you ever wondered how a brilliant life could be lost not by a bullet, but by the very people sworn to save it? Candice Millard's Destiny of the Republic is a gripping true story that weaves together madness, archaic medicine, and the political downfall of a uniquely promising American president, James A. Garfield. This isn't just history. It's a terrifying tale of how the blind arrogance of the 19th century tragically shaped the fate of a nation. Chapter 1. The Chosen Assassin. Our story begins with the madness of Charles Guiteau, a figure of utter failure, having tried everything from law to ministry to a free love commune. Yet in his own mind, Guiteau was a man of great promise. His delusions solidified in 1880 after he miraculously survived the fiery maritime collision of the steamships Stonington and Narragansett. He was certain he hadn't been spared by luck, but selected, chosen by God for a task of tremendous importance. Chapter 2. The Rise of the Promise. The man Guiteau would target, James A. Garfield, represented the highest American ideals. Born into extreme poverty and fatherless before his second birthday, Garfield rose quickly through society through a passionate love of learning, becoming a celebrated congressman, former professor of languages and mathematics, and a Civil War hero. He was a tireless advocate for progress and equality, arguing fiercely for the rights of freed slaves. His life itself proved that in America, any individual may come up to glitter on the highest wave that rolls. Chapter 3. Science Ignored. In 1876, the future of both medicine and communication was on display at the Centennial Exhibition. Alexander Graham Bell reluctantly showcased his embryo of an idea, the telephone, which instantly amazed onlookers. Yet an even more critical scientific concept was ignored: antisepsis. Despite Dr. Joseph Lister demonstrating his carbolic acid system, which dramatically lowered surgical death rates in Europe, infringent American surgeons dismissed it as ridiculous, calling the theory absurd and a positive injury. This tragic rejection of germ theory sets the stage for Garfield's murder. Chapter 4. The Accidental President. Garfield never sought the presidency, actively refusing to campaign or accept promotions, determined that the presidential fever would not seize him. The 1880 Republican Convention was a brutal fight between the reformist half-breeds and the powerful stalwarts led by Senator Roscoe Conkling. When Garfield delivered a stirring address nominating his friend John Sherman, his eloquence accidentally turned the crowd in his own favor. Despite his protests, the nomination was thrust upon him. Garfield won the election, but felt a tone of sadness running through this triumph, viewing the presidency as a bleak mountain he was obliged to ascend. Chapter 5. The Spoils of War. Garfield immediately faced a political war waged by Conkling, who fought fiercely to defend the corrupt patronage system, or spoils system, which was the source of his power. Conkling's main ally was Garfield's running mate, Vice President Chester Arthur, widely known as Conkling's man. Meanwhile, the delusional Guiteau arrived in Washington, certain that his negligible campaign speech earned him the Paris consulship. After months of being politely dismissed, Secretary of State James G. Blaine finally told him, "Never speak to me about the Paris consulship again." Guiteau, interpreting this as a sign of Blaine's wickedness and having exhausted his political options, received a clear divine inspiration. He must kill the president to save the Republic and unite the Republican Party. He bought a .44 caliber British Bulldog revolver, practicing his aim on the Potomac. Chapter 6. The Fatal Error of Medicine. On July 2, 1881, Guiteau waited for Garfield at the Baltimore and Potomac train station. He shot the president twice. One bullet lodged harmlessly behind the pancreas. The tragedy was not the wound, but the catastrophic medical response. Dr. D. Willard Bliss, rushing to take control of the case, repeatedly probed the president's back with unsterilized fingers and surgical instruments on the filthy train station floor, introducing lethal infection. Despite Dr. Joseph Lister demonstrating his carbolic acid system, which dramatically lowered surgical death rates in Europe, infringent American surgeons dismissed it as ridiculous, calling the theory absurd and a positive injury. This tragic rejection of germ theory sets the stage for Garfield's murder. Chapter 7. Bell's race against time. As Garfield slowly wasted away from septic poisoning, Alexander Graham Bell entered the fray. Knowing the doctors were blindly searching for the bullet, Bell recognized that he could adapt his induction balance, a device originally used to eliminate static on telephone lines, into a revolutionary metal detector. Bell worked frantically, fueled by the knowledge that this technology could save Garfield's life. He tested the device twice, but Bliss, convinced the bullet was on the right side of the body, restricted the search area. The bullet, however, lay harmlessly encapsulated on the left side. Bell's race against political ego and medical ignorance ultimately failed. Chapter 8: Legacy of Sacrifice. Garfield suffered for 79 agonizing days, starving despite the doctor's bizarre high-fat diets and rectal feedings. The long, painful struggle revealed his deep strength and unwavering courtesy. He died on September 19, 1881. The autopsy confirmed his death was caused by massive infection introduced by the probing and resulting in a fatal hemorrhage. The tragedy brought tremendous, necessary change. The nation, united in grief, focused its fury on the corruption that had fueled Guiteau's delusion. Chester Arthur, the once scorned stalwart pawn, underwent a remarkable transformation. Defying Conkling, President Arthur championed reform and signed the Pendleton Civil Service Act, destroying the spoils system that had created his own career and led to Garfield's assassination. Garfield's struggle ultimately saved the Republic from its own corruption and medical blindness. This epic story, spanning ambition, scientific revolution, and political corruption, proves that history often turns on unforeseen events and ignored truths. If you found Garfield's sacrifice compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the books that changed history.